Get the latest in Cardinal sports. Benny Rogers brings you the latest in scores and standings throughout the region. Cardinal Weekly starts now.
Welcome to another edition of Cardinal Weekly presented by the Cardinal Sports Network. I'm Benny Rogers, the Sports Information Officer here at the college. Obviously, we have a huge football game to talk about, and we will. We were going to lead off with the start of basketball season. Lady Cardinal coach Elena Lovato and Cardinal coach Chris Bauman will be stopping by shortly to visit about their teams and the season. Both teams play their home openers Tuesday night, and boy, did they give the new Cardinal Gym scoreboards a workout. The Lady Cardinals put up 126 and a 126-29 win over Coastal Bend, and the Cardinals hung 129 on Texas Riders in a 129-69 win. The two-time defending national champion Lady Cardinals are 2-0 on the season. Tuesday's win was their 45th straight home win. The Cardinals are 3-0 on the season. Next week will be a busy week at Cardinal Gym. The Lady Cardinals are at home Tuesday against McLennan in a 5:30 p.m. tip-off, and the Cardinals will be at home Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in classic action. They play East Texas Flight at 8 p.m. Thursday, Coffeyville at 7:30 p.m. Friday, and Ranger at 4 p.m. Saturday. And now let's visit with our guests. First, Elena Lovato, who led the Lady Cardinals to a national title in her first full season as head coach last year. Elena, you're 2-0 on the season, got off to a good start. What are your thoughts at this point of your team?
I was pleased, I guess, with the fact that we didn't play down to our competition last night, but I feel like we're still a work in progress. I think every day we need to bring our focus into the gym so that we can start executing a little bit better, leading into that WNIT, which I think is going to be an amazing, measuring stick for our season. So, progression.
This time last year, Elena, you started with a brand new team. It was your first full year here. You had brand new teams that you started with. This year, you've got 6 kids coming back from a team that won a national championship, and you're trying to fit them in with new kids that you brought in. What's the difference between the two?
I thought last year, having all 10 new kids, it was a little bit easier because none of them had any experience playing under me. They didn't have any interaction with each other prior to coming here. So it was like a bunch of question marks for everyone. This year, having 6 returners who went through that amazing ride, they kind of have this bond. And it's been tough to kind of let the new kids in and break into the family. But I think every day it seems to get a little bit better. I think the girls are more concerned with having better chemistry. It's actually one of their team goals. So I think, it's a little bit of a change in their attitude for this last week or so since we've started competing, in the regular season. But it's been a little bit different. I didn't think it would be as hard to have a group of 6 returners and add 6 new kids as it is. But I think my returners are actually doing a better job of embracing it now than they did in July.
Well, you mentioned your returners, and we mentioned that there are 6. Talk about those young ladies now and how different you see them from last year to now their sophomore seasons, how much better they are as players, maybe as people on and off the court, although they were great kids at last year, of course. But I'm just saying what the difference you've seen.
I think Trinity Valley is an amazing place for people to grow and develop as a whole, not just on the floor. We've seen lots of growth in each of them. I think, Shalante Allen and Adu Bulgak already becoming All-Americans, and being well-known and well-recruited. Their biggest, I think, growth has come off the court. I think they were here for a reason. Other than their basketball skills, I think they were here to get their academics, on point and to become better relationship builders. And I think they've done a good job with that. Rodrika Patton, I think, she was more of a role player last year, my 6-man plug off the bench, and now she's starting and she's trying to, run a team. And she didn't have any experience in that position last year. I played her at the 2. So she's developing every day, and she's trying to get used to the change from a shooting guard to a point guard. Julianne has come out of her shell. I couldn't ask her to be more confident right now. She comes into the gym, puts up extra shots, wants to watch film. She has developed on and off the floor. I think the people love her. Her personality's coming out, and you could see it on the floor. Her facial expressions, her body language. You could just tell she's really feeling herself. And then Dominique Brooks, she had a really good game last night. I think she wants to make an impact this year, so she's asked to get that extra work. And I think as of the last couple of weeks, she's been getting in at night with Gerald and working on her fundamental, individual game. So I think it helped, and it actually showed last night where she was able to help us out a little bit.
Now, your newcomers that you brought in, talk about some of those young ladies and what your expectations for them are this season.
Having two Division I transfers, we thought they'd bring an immediate impact, but it's a little bit different game. This is a very transition type game. It's very fast paced in the way we like to play and get after it defensively. I think Coco and Deb have struggled a little bit getting used to our tempo and our pace, but I thought, over the last two games, they've actually grown right in front of my eyes. So I think, those two are going to be very, very a big part of, postseason action. And then Autumn Williams last night actually played one of her better games that I've ever seen, from high school to now. She's got like 2 extra gears that she doesn't even know she has, and to see her kind of develop through last night's game, defensively, offensively, we were very, very pleased with her performance, and now she has high expectations, and she's going to have to get after it every day because we want her to reach her potential here at the Valley.
As you move forward now, November is going to give way to December, and conference games are going to begin before we break for the holidays. What type of progress are you hoping to see over the next couple of weeks?
Over the next couple of weeks, we need to get after it defensively. I think that this whole 10-second backcourt rule is going to help us. We need to start having better rotations, and it all starts with communication, and I think that's been our biggest deficiency. I think my team needs to do a better job of communicating on the floor, communicating when they sub in, knowing who they're guarding, knowing what set we're in, and I think that the girls realized that last night, and we all talked about it after the game, and that's going to be a focus point for this week moving forward for the McLennan game. But execution, I think, and then just defense, getting after it, turning people over, and playing fast.
Before we let you go, in a couple of weeks we're going to be hosting the annual Thanksgiving Classic.
Yes, sir.
It's going to kind of be special this year because of the name that you've decided to give it.
Yes, we want to honor, Coach Bucky and Miranda for everything that they did for Trinity Valley and for building the Lady Cardinal program. So I think that, we need to carry this tradition on from this point forward, and I'm excited about it. We're already starting to, make T-shirts and whatnot, and I need to get with you, about some maybe halftime ceremonies or something, because I think they're very special, and they started an amazing program, and to carry their spirit on, for the rest of Trinity Valley Lady Cardinal basketball's future, then I think that's something that we really need to do.
And that's on November 29th and 30th?
Yes, sir. Friday, Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. And the teams we have coming in other than ourselves?
Pinola's going to come with us again this year. We have Southwestern Christian College, and then we have Arkansas Baptist, which we'll get to, rematch with them. We started our season with them, and it'll be nice to play them again.
Elena, thanks for stopping by, and we will get with you again as conference play gets underway.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You bet. Now we are joined by Cardinal coach Chris Ballman in his second year at the college and coming off a 20-win season. Chris, 3 games into the season, you're 3-0. Where's your assessment of where your kids are right now?
Oh, I mean, obviously being 3-0 is a great, that's right where we want to be. But we had a really good first weekend up in Dallas, which I was really, really happy with. We played Midland, who's a junior college power. They beat us 19 a year ago. We were able to beat them 11 this year. So. Last night's game we played the Texas Riders, which is kind of an exhibition game. So I'm really, really happy where we're at. I'm really happy with the way we're playing. I feel a lot more comfortable now that I've kind of been here a year, recruiting with our staff, with the kids, everything else. So I'm very, very pleased where we're at right now.
You brought just one kid back off last year's team, Octavius Ellis, and we might mention he's already committed to Arizona State. What are your expectations for him this season, being the returning veteran that you have?
He's got to be our hardest worker, and that's what I've kind of challenged him. If your best player is your hardest worker, you got a chance to be pretty good, and he's done that to this point in the season. So I'm very, very pleased with him. I'm very happy that he chose a school early, Arizona State. They've got a great program. Coach Sendek's a great coach. So. I'm happy for him, but like I said, he's got to be our hardest worker every day, and if he'll do that, it really carries on to the rest of our team. So I've been very, very pleased with him to this point in the season.
You mentioned that now you've got 1 year under your belt in this league. As you rebuilt the team completely, how did last year influence what type of kids you might have gone after this year?
I thought we needed bigger, stronger guards. I thought we needed guys with a little more size and a little more strength with the league. I thought that was, I thought our bigs last year were okay. It's just our guards, I thought we needed bigger and stronger men. And I really wanted to get higher probably character people. Not that the kids last year were bad kids. I really did a good job trying to know the kids a little bit better, look them, eye to eye, look at their parents eye to eye, and I think we've got a little bit higher character kid than maybe we had a year ago. But to say that, I mean, we're 3-0. There's a lot of season left. But to this point, we're kind of playing the way that I wanted to play. We've had to tweak a couple things, but like I said, it's just the biggest thing I thought we had to have bigger, stronger physical guys, especially in our guard positions.
We'll talk about some of the newcomers that you brought in and some of the names that your fans may be very familiar with once the season's over by having great seasons for you potentially.
Patrick Ingram's a transfer from Iowa. He's an Indianapolis kid. He's having a really good year. Josh Robinson, we call him Frog, is having a good year. He's a kid out of Shreveport, right down the road. He was a big get for us recruiting-wise. Malcolm Riley's had a really good year. He's a kid as a transfer, as a junior college transfer. Clarence Williams is a kid out of Tallahassee, Florida, who's got a lot of potential. We've got, the good thing about us, we've got a lot of guys. I've got 8 or 9 guys. I've got 9 freshmen on this team. So we've got a lot of guys that I really think can be, they're going to be key players in the season. And I think our depth at the end of the day is going to be kind of our biggest strength.
Before we let you go, Chris, as we move forward, how much potential does this team have and how good could this team possibly be?
I don't really worry about potential. It's a scary word. We just got to play game by game. We just got to, do our jobs and get better every game and just handle we've got a big road trip this weekend. We just got to handle it, one game by game. And coaches say that, but really with this group, I don't really worry about potential. I think we've done a good job recruiting. We just got to be mature and handle ourselves and play like a team and do those things. And if we do our job, I think we'll have a chance to be successful this season.
And you mentioned you've got 2 games on the road to finish out this week, but then you've got the luxury of 7 straight home games, and that's going to be pretty nice for you and the kids.
Yeah, we put together 2 classics. I thought it was important to have some classics for our fans and kind of put them at the same year so people know when they know when the basketball games are. And we've got some really good competition. Coffeyville's coming in next week, and I think they're 15th in the country in their traditional power. So to get them here to Trinity Valley is a great thing for our program. There's some other really quality teams coming to our classics. So yeah, we've got 7 in a row after this weekend. So it's kind of exciting for us not to have to travel for a couple weeks.
Well, Chris, thanks for stopping by, and we wish you and the Cardinals the best of luck this season.
Thanks, Benny. Go Cards.
Turning our attention to football, the 8th-ranked Cardinals are scheduled to battle the Navarro Bulldogs at 3 p.m. Saturday in the regional championship game at Bruce Field. Coach Brad Smiley's squad won its way to the Tyler game with a 38-7 win against Blinn in semifinal action last week at home. After a slow start, the Cardinals came alive in the second half and turned back the Bucks. The Cardinals were led offensively by wide receiver Jarvis Baxter. He caught 10 passes for 204 yards and 2 touchdowns, and as a result, he was named the conference's Offensive Player of the Week. On defense, end DeVal Jackson led the way with a 15-tackle game. He also had 2 quarterback sacks, 3 hurries, and a forced fumble. He was named the conference's Defensive Player of the Week. Navarro defeated Tyler 33-24 in the other semifinal. The Cardinals were a 35-7 winner against Navarro during conference play in a game played on a rainy Saturday night in Corsicana back in September. Hope you'll come out Saturday and support the Cardinals. For our second straight year, the Lady Cardinal volleyball team is in the regional tournament, which began Friday morning at Tyler Junior College. Coach Tasha Spain's squad was scheduled to play San Jacinto in its first game. With the win, the Lady Cardinals would play the Tyler Horton winner at 11 a.m. Saturday. With a loss to San Jacinto, they would face the Tyler Horton loser at 7 p.m. Friday. The Lady Cardinals took a 20-13 record into the tournament, with 20 wins representing the school record for wins in a season. Good luck to the Lady Cardinals. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Cardinal Weekly. For the Cardinal Sports Network, this is Benny Rogers reporting.